how to create your first product listing on Amazon in draft. So let me explain a few things here before we get started. Um, when you start working on your first private label product with your supplier or manufacturer in China, you want to create a draft listing right away. The reason why is because you are potentially going to send them a copy of the UPC barcode so that they can print that for you on your product or your product box or packaging. And in order to make sure that you're sending them a valid UPC, I've found it helpful to actually get that UPC into Amazon Central so that Seller Central, so that Seller Central can validate that it's a good UPC. UPCs are system generated and many times they are reused. And I've seen UPCs that are used and have an existing product tied to them in Amazon. So the last thing you want to do is create this order with your supplier for a products that lands at your doorstep or at Amazon's warehouse with the wrong UPC code. Obviously, we don't want that. So in order to avoid that, I found it useful. I highly recommend this. Go into Seller Central and go ahead and just create a product listing. Before you do that, you obviously need a UPC code. So where I get my UPC codes, I'm going to share it with you, is right here, eBay. Um, a lot of recommendations on buying UPC codes from all kinds of sources, and there are a lot of places where you could buy them from. And I've seen prices as high as a couple of dollars per UPC code, down to pennies per UPC code. It just depends on the source and all of that. I found this guy here, Levec Tech seller. He has high rankings, very positive feedback, and you can't really go wrong for 15,000 UPCs for 10 bucks. Um, so I recommend this guy. I've bought from him one time. I've only needed to buy from him one time. However, even after buying though, I do make sure that every UPC that I use is actually unique and acceptable by Amazon. And the way that I do that is by creating a product listing with that unique UPC to make sure that the system accepts it. If it won't, it'll give me an error right away and tell me, hey, this is already associated to another product. Okay, so that's why you want to create a draft product listing in Amazon and then continue with your order with the supplier manufacturer. You can always come back and then pretty it up and put your pictures and the correct copywriting and the listing, SEO keywords, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, so this video I'm going to show you how to go ahead and create that draft first. So you buy your UPCs, you save them, and for uh, for an example, let's say that we're going to launch a brand new private label bike light product. Okay, I just picked this randomly. I was looking at it earlier, and I'm just going to use this as an example. I don't actually sell any bike lights, but this is again an example. So I did a search for bike light, and all these came up. Okay, so that's what we're going to launch. That's what we're going to create a new listing for. So log into Seller Central and get to the add a product page. So go to inventory. Under inventory, you have add a product and you have add product via upload. What's the difference? Add a product is a WYSIWYG or web-based assistant that you can go in and basically just fill in all the fields and it will create a listing for you. Add products via upload are flat files or text spreadsheets or text files that you complete on your desktop and then upload into Seller Central. Now, why would you pick one over the other? Well, if I'm just trying to create one product, I usually do the add a product web-based update. If I am going to create multiple listings, for example, a bunch of variations, then doing this 6 times is a little annoying. I have more control via spreadsheets, so I can actually do that from here. It's not the most intuitive, it's not the most straightforward uh, process. Every time I've done it, I've had mistakes. It just takes a long time to get through that. But as you start loading or launching many products, then you definitely want to get into flat files, and we'll save that for another webinar. For our sake, we're just launching a simple product, so I click on Add a Product. Okay, that takes me to this page. Now, from here, I can either search an existing product, or I can create. We want to create a new product listing, so I click on that. And here we go. From here, it's a two-step process. First step is to classify or determine the category that your product, our private label product, is going to be under, and then to actually go ahead and fill in the information. So you can find the right category for your product in two different ways. One, you can search for it right here, what category it should be in, or two, you can browse. All right, so every time you click on one of these, it takes you down the tree branches, and the nodes and branches until you get to the right place. I usually just search for it, just easier. Doesn't matter how you get there, but one way or the other. So let's go back to our example. So this is the product that I want to launch. Well, any bike light. Okay, I'll just click on that one. So let's say I'm going to launch this exactly, bike light. And from this page, I need to gather the information to determine what category this product is in. So if we look at this one, I can see the categories down the page. Okay, if I scroll down, here we go. Here I see the Amazon BSR, the bestseller rank, and I can see the top node is sports and outdoors. Okay, and I see that right here. So this guy or gal is in like number 56, which is really, really good. He or she is also number 1 under sports and outdoors, outdoor recreation, cycling, accessories, lights and reflectors, and headlights. The seller is also number 1 under taillights in the same branch. And then also number 2 in headlight, taillight combinations. So this guy or gal is doing pretty good. And look at the number of reviews. So in any case, so the seller is ranked in 3 different branches, or 1 branch but 3 different leaves over here. Now, how do I know which category, the final node, the final leaf, to place mine in? Most of the time, the first branch that you see here is going to be the primary, and that's where you want to be. And then hopefully as you make more and more sales, Amazon will add you to the others. But that's usually the rule, but I want to make certain that this is the right category, okay? There's one other way to check. Usually the navigation path is listed up here when you go directly to the source page, okay? But because I searched for it, I get this back to results here. The way to see the nav over here, primary nav, is you manipulate the URL. So let's delete this. And I want Amazon.com/DP/ASIN, okay, the ASIN number. And from here, I'm going to kill the rest. So Amazon.com/DP/the ASIN, enter. All right, what happened? Back to results is gone. All right, same page. But now I see the primary branch and leaf. So sports and outdoors, outdoor recreation, cycling, accessories, light and reflectors, headlights. Okay, matches this, headlights, sports and outdoors, etc. Okay, so like I said, the first branch that they list is usually the primary one, which in this case, that's the case. All right, so now I know from my competitor the branch and leaf that I want to list mine as well, so that I can rank well, and I can be in the right category. So what do? Let's go back. to Seller Central. Like I said, I can browse to it. I just want to search for it, make it easy. So bike, light, find a category. Okay, so here's my results for my search for bike light. I can see there's 12 under sporting goods and one under toys and games. Well, I know it's not toys and games, so I'm going to click on sporting goods. Okay, I chose sporting goods. Now it threw in automotive. Um, Amazon Seller Central on the back end is a little wonky. And as you interact more and more with it, you will learn that the system has some quirks that you kind of have to just get around and work with. So why it threw automotive in here, I have no idea, but that's not relevant for our listing. Now let's look at the results here. Okay, I can see the top node, and I can see that these leaves are found in the following branches. They all say sporting goods as the first. That's the category I clicked on, and then so on and so forth. Now, the first one here, frame mount, bike pumps, nope. Parts and accessories, maybe. Forks, nope. Combinations, nope. Headlights, yes, that's the one that we looked at. Tail lights, nope, etc., etc. So this to me looks like this is the one that I want to list my product in. Now, let's match this with the one that we found on our competitor. So our first uh, branch here is sporting goods cycling. Now, if we come over here, well, we have a problem. We don't see sporting goods and cycling. Again, this is another quirk, and I've actually spoken to Amazon about this. The first few times I did this, I'm like, hey, these categories don't match. Well, they know it doesn't match. It's a labeling issue, and you kind of have to work around it. So we know that it's in the sports category, and it's under cycling, and it's a headlight. Okay. So looking at all of these, well, yeah, we're in the sports, we're in cycling, and then bike headlights. That's the leaf that we want. So this is the right one. Now, for some of you, this may cause some concern to say, whoa, wait a second. I want to be certain. I want to be 100% sure. How do I really know this is the right one? So um, one, you'll just get used to it and you'll kind of figure out the way things are put together on Amazon's back end. Two, you can always call Amazon Seller Central support and ask for the catalog team, and just ask them, and they will confirm. Tell them, hey, look, here's a page of my competitor. I want to list it under this exact category. Can you please tell me what category on the back end I should list my product in? And they'll confirm it for you. Okay, but I am like 100% confident this is the right one. So I'm going to go ahead and select this, but bike headlights right here. Okay, here we go. So we finished the first part, which was finding the right category. The second part is to go ahead and complete the information requested. Product name, bike light, or whatever is appropriate for your product. Manufacturer, this is up to you. Does not have to be your business name. Does not have to be your store name. Just whatever you want to call it. So I'm going to say Bike Co. I would normally probably do something that's more mine, meaning that if there actually is a manufacturer called Bikeco, then I don't want to call mine Bikeco, right? Get in trouble. Manufacturer part number. So here, this is again field that's mandatory, but you decide what you want to call it. So I'm going to say this is a private label product, and it's a bike light. And then, yeah, let's call it red. And maybe this is my first model. I'm going to have many others. I'm going to have different colors. So that to me makes sense, right? But you could put whatever you want. All right, brand name. Again, totally up to you. And I'm going to say Bicycle World. Okay, and that's just an example. Obviously, do your research, make sure there's not really a brand out there already called Bicycle World, because then they're going to come after you and say, hey, what are you doing selling our brand name? We have a copyright, we have trademarks to that, et cetera, et cetera. All right, and then from there, move down. The other required field is right here, UPC. Okay, so I have some UPCs. Now I'm going to put a UPC in here that I've already used on purpose. Okay, because I want to see what the system does. So I'm going to punch this in here. All right, and I'll just keep going about my business, and let's see what happens. Okay, there we go. Right away it says, hey, we found possible matching products. Okay, so there is a product out there that's already matching this particular UPC, and so I know that I cannot use this UPC. I've just validated it. So I say go back and edit. So I come back in here. Let me go back here. And I'm going to grab a fresh UPC and replace that. Okay. If there's an error, it'll pop up and tell me. All right. Then I go over to offer. All right. Mandatory field. It's going to be obviously new. Your price. I don't care. I'm going to say $1 because again, I'm going to come back and edit all this stuff later. And that's it. Images. I usually throw something in there again as a placeholder. Description, I don't worry about now. Keywords, I don't worry about now. And that's it. I'm done. So now the next step I would take, okay, now did you see I didn't get any errors? That means it's accepting this. And also when I hit save and finish, it will let me know if it has created it successfully because it'll show up in my inventory. If there's a problem, it will tell me there's a problem with this UPC or product listing, and then I can go and troubleshoot. Once it accepts it, and this product now shows up in my inventory, now of course it won't be live because I haven't put any quantity, there's a lot of information missing, so I'm not worried about that. But once it's accepted it, now I can take this UPC and basically create a barcode and send that over to my supplier in China and say, all right, go ahead and please print this and stick it on the label on the product. And I know that when I receive my products, I'm golden, right? I'm not going to have any issues. And that's it. So just to quickly summarize, get your UPCs from this guy, Levec Tech, or any others if you prefer, but this is where I've gotten mine without any issues. Do a search for your competitor exact match product that you're going to sell. Verify the primary branch and node that they're selling on by manipulating the URL to amazon.com/dp/asin. And then add a product, do a search for that particular product, choose the closest matching logical branch and leaf like I did. Fill in the information for vital info with the UPC. Make sure you don't get any errors. Fill in the info for offer, the condition, and the price that were mandatory, and submit. And once you've submitted it and the system accepts it, you now have a product, your first private label product in Amazon Seller Central, and you've taken a huge milestone. So congratulations. All right. Thank you. More to come on next videos.